Slurped up my G's, hope you're doing wonderful. Thanks to everyone who already grabbed my latest preset pack, Hyperspace, which is on half price until the end of this week. As promised, I said I would break down some of the patches. Today I'm going to break down the Carbon Swarm. And there's a strange thing that happens in Vital when you FM a saw wave into a low-pitched sine wave. And this was the concept that started this particular patch. So if I just show you over here, let's say you've got a saw wave open up. You open up a sine wave as well. Pitch this one down really, really low. Let's go to minus 48. And then we're going to FM from oscillator 1. So the saw wave's going to go into the sine wave. And then you've got this really, really fast, chaotic movement happening already right from the beginning. And so that was the technique that I first applied when I started building the Carbon Swarm patch. And this is a bit of one of the crazier sounds in the pack. So essentially, I used that technique to run a saw wave into a sine wave down here. And then I've actually run this sine wave then also into another sine wave down here. And it sounds like this with just the voicing section. Because what I've done on top of that initial kind of saw wave and sine wave FM chaos is I've then added a few extra pitch movements. And I've got a saw down LFO shape here at 1/8. And I've tracked that to the pitch of the first saw wave, right? So it basically, the patch basically then has this whole pitching down sort of narrative to it, you know? So that's what's sort of creating that. And then I've also got another movement here on a separate LFO, which is tracked to the pitch of oscillator 3, this other sine wave down here. And this is going up quite a lot. And if I turn that off, that's making it so that it changes, the speed sort of changes as the patch progresses. So it kind of gets really fast and slows down, then gets really fast and slows down. So that's what this LFO here is doing for that part. Okay, so bear in mind it's quite chaotic. You know, we already had this movement with the saw wave and the sine wave being FM that started everything off. Then we have this whole pitching down narrative, and then we also have now this part where the kind of whole patch speeds up and slows down. So there's sort of three movements that are going on. So that's kind of the basis for that sound. And then all I did then was sort of just to enhance it. There's the unison mode I turned on for this saw wave as well. I should probably have mentioned at the beginning. Although the principles are the same, it just massively makes the whole patch a lot more interesting because it adds the whole stereo narrative to the sound. And it's cool. I often do this where basically I will apply the unison on the carrier, but I'll leave like the actual oscillators that have the volume turned up in sort of mono. So it's a cool way you can add in some stereo like through the carrier signal. I feel like I get cleaner presets like that. So anyway, yeah, cut a long story short, to finish up this sound, all I then did was add a few effects. Like I've got a comb filter going on, kind of just shaping the harmonics, changing things around a lot. Then let's just run over the effects quickly. A bit of linear fold distortion. I always test out the different distortion modes. I don't always use distortion on pads and stuff like that, but this is like a quite aggressive lead effects sound, so I wanted to distort that. Nice bit of chorus, just 8 voices on this one. But yeah, quite a large impact having that on, absolutely. With the phaser positive filter, I did a little bit more movement on this saw down as well. So the patch kind of just has a bit more of a natural feeling. Then we have a little bit of the colouring compressor. It's not really that much on this one. A little bit of reverb. I think I may have applied a couple of extra little effects here, a phaser and a flanger. Just to like sort of almost do a little tape emulation kind of effect. Then there are actually two macros on this patch as well, the Sloan and the Tony. If you're new to this channel, basically I'm a bit of a weirdo, and when I was in the process of doing all my sound design videos in the past, I ended up coming up with my own language for sound design. And Sloan basically is like when you're slowing it down, you're slowing down the patch. So if I take that off, it's even faster and more mental. And Tony is basically the tone, or the tonality. It's just tone is in English is short for Tony. So that that's how I kind of got to that term. And by the way, I actually started making some lo-fi music recently, and my alias for that is Tony and Sloan, which came out of my sound design ventures, the name for that. So just a little in case you wanted to know. But yeah, so you've got two different versions. With the Tony, I go in to the details of different parameters and different effects, and I try and create always like a version B, like a variation B to the sound, where all the tonality is kind of different. And of course, you can sort of leave it halfway and sort of get new ideas, like, you know, with it across the whole range of that parameter. But I kind of like... So that one sounds quite nice when you have the Sloan up and the Tony down. So anyway, that's the crazy Carbon Swarm lead/FX sound. Thank you, Mike, for the request. I'm going to move on to some of your other suggestions next. So until then, take care, much love, peace out.